You're live.
We live?
Yep.
We live. Welcome back, everybody, to another rendition of Prime Time Live. If you are seeing this shirt, the darkened shirt with the writing that you all come to love and know, the uniform that is always amazing on Prime Time Live. Now, I want you guys to do first, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, because it helps the algorithm. If you're on YouTube, and if you are, hello everybody, and if you're on Facebook, also think it's also thumbs up, think it's blue, and share the content. Tell everybody, hey, everybody, what are you doing? Hey, y'all come watch Primetime Live with Ming-Dee. That be me. So, since I just said that, I'm your host, Ming-Dee.
I'm your boy Snake.
And Hammer is not here, but it's okay. Because he always does. He is our liaison, always out and about looking for games, trying to find stuff nerdy for everybody. So when he's not here, he is handling business because he is a man that handles business. So he'll be back. So don't worry, fans. He'll be back. But in the meantime, as you said before, you see this shirt, you already know what time it is. It is time for another rendition of The State of Streaming. I don't have any of that. So it's September, the first actual Monday of September. The first, not necessarily the first week, but it's the first Monday of September. So we're gonna get into it because it's now technically fall-ish. It's not feeling like fall, but technically fall. And there are a ton of shows that you should be watching this fall. There's some new shows coming out sooner or later, but there are a ton of shows that have been out that are number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, all the way to number possibly 20. Some go more than that. But these shows are on some of the hottest platforms. There are even some shows coming to, network TV. We still do that type of thing. And we still got cable and fiber optics and, Verizon TV and T-Mobile TV and AT&T TV. There's a lot of these cable TV channels and things of that nature. So if you are, just real quick, just to get this out the way, or whatever, this isn't on the list, but just kind of want to just say it so you guys can know. I think you guys should be watching some CBS shows. CBS always come out with some of the good shows in the fall. So if you're coming home from work, or you're sitting home with your husband and wife, your spouse, and you want to watch something on TV, CBS always has some good stuff. CW always have the good stuff. It's very teen angst drama, some superhero stuff. So you want to watch that for the cable shows. Watch that. You already know ABC has the stuff they used to have to get away with murders and stuff. So they have some doctors, and I think doctors that do things. So watch that type of stuff. And then there are the TNTs and whatnot. Like I said, but this isn't about cable. Who cares? Throw cable out the door. Let's get to the state of streaming. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to talk about a couple of things now. I know you guys are probably wondering, is he going to talk about the Disney Pluses? Is he going to talk about, some Discovery? Now, I am not talking about Discovery today. I didn't really write down anything or get any material for the Discovery. Discovery, I think Discovery Plus. I think all of these are pluses, but the Discovery Channel, or streaming or whatever. And I'm not doing Disney because we've been doing Disney a lot lately, people. As you know, we've been, really ranking it in. Disney's been pretty much hot on the presses. As you know, last month they were the top streaming, opinionated, arguably, if you want to say, the top streaming, giant. So of course they had more of my time at the moment. They were just on the news a lot, with whatnot. But we want to jump in also to the shows. And so, what about DC? Well, DC, I'm not talking about DC. DC, we're going to wait. Maybe we'll talk about that. I told you it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. We're going to talk about DC, just not right now. So we're going to jump in. So just to give you a rundown, we're going to talk about the Peacock, not the actual bird, the actual, streaming platform. We're going to talk about HBO Max. Y'all know the favorite HBO Max. We're going to get a little Hulu in there. And it's like, wait, Hulu? Yes, Hulu has original shows and things of that nature. We're going to talk about Paramount Plus and everybody's favorite, cousin that you can't get rid of that just always comes back and seems like makes the greatest pies in the world. Netflix. We're going to jump into that. So, without further ado, don't forget please like, subscribe, comment, and if you're on here right now, Talk to Snake wants to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys. Want to see what you guys. What's your favorite platform? What do you like? Maybe we'll, mention it on here. Maybe we mention it. Maybe we didn't. So let us know. Talk to us. So
you said Netflix making pies. Yeah.
Oh God, that's not at all what I meant.
It comes back for that pie, bruh.
Stupid. So let's get right into it. So we're not. Forgive this guy. He's you know how he goes. Forgive this guy. So we're gonna jump right on in now. We're not gonna go into the top 10 or 15. There's just too many shows for all these platforms. Each platform probably has over 100 shows. Some that you've seen before when they used to be on cable, and some that are brand new. But we're just gonna talk about the top two, respectively. Rotten Tomatoes mostly, and Netflix has their own tier system. And we're going to talk about it. So, starting with Peacock. At number 2, and also if you want to see these, Snake has them on the screen. And also you can also go on the link on Google and look at Rotten Tomatoes and look at some of the stuff. And there's other, and you might find some shows that you probably think, oh, that should have been number 2, should have been number 1, or that should have been 20. Why is it there? And,
shut up, Tigger.
So, we have a show called Save Me, coming in at number 2 on the Peacock, and that show looks pretty interesting. From what I know, it looks really interesting. It has it seems like it has a gritty tone. I haven't seen it, of course, but it has but from the score on Rotten Tomatoes, it looks really, really good. So I'm thinking about taking a Ganser into it. It looks nice, whatever. So I think it has 2 or 3 protagonists, and if I'm correct, I'm not gonna say it's like a murder mystery or whatnot, but it's around that type of vibe, and in the sense of that type of a genre. That's it. That's the type of genre of show that it is. So we're not spending too much time. Let's go to the number 1, which I'm gonna talk about the most, which is We Are Lady Parts, and that's the name of the band. Actually, I spent a little more time reading up on this one. It's interesting enough. It's because at first I thought it was something really weird. I was like, what? We Are Lady Parts? What is this? But apparently it's just about these women creating a band, a Muslim band at that, which is very different. If you know anything about Muslim culture or the Islam culture, you don't really find them doing too much like rock band stuff or anything like that. They're very reserved. So it's kind of interesting on that. And apparently it's about, they're trying to, as usual, most music shows, you're trying to get one person into the group, and then that person has some drama because they don't want to leave this side of their family or this lifestyle where they have, in other words, the Islam culture, they're very strict here, but then the other side isn't strict. They have to figure this whole thing out. So it's one of those type of drama, music, cultural type shows, and apparently it's doing very good on Peacock. So with that, and those are the top 2. There are other shows in there, like I said before. If you want to know more, go on there and search it. I actually saw some shows on there. Like I said, I can't remember them all. They're on the screen, but I think some other shows in there that I might find more interesting for me. Me personally, I'm a little bit more of an action drama guy, or a very mystery guy. Like the Save Me might be a little bit up more my alley. I need to read more into it and maybe catch an episode or so. But I'm more into the mystery. You got to make my brain think. I want to think when I'm watching the show. I want to try to solve it. If it's easy to solve on the first episode, or if I'm able to figure out all the drama in the whole episode, and I'm telling you, oh man, for example, Lady Parts, oh man, the girl I can tell you right now, she's going to fight with her mom. She's going to quit and say she doesn't want to be a Muslim anymore, and then she's going to join the band and then realize that not being a Muslim is the worst thing, and she needs to be a Muslim and be a rock band, and some big resolution. If I'm able to figure that, I'm just saying, like, if I watch the show and that becomes the thing, if I'm able to watch it and I'm able to figure it out like that, see how I came up with that real quickly?
Well,
that was just imagination.
But
if I watch the show and then
did you watch the trailer?
Huh?
Did you watch the trailer for it?
No. I'm just giving you an example. I'm saying like if I watch a show, and I was just giving you an example how I can, if I watch something, if I'm able to pick it apart. Let's just say that was in the show and I figured it out that fast, I'll be mad at myself because, you know, I don't like figuring stuff out so fast. You know,
I'll be happy because I was like, ha, caught it.
Yeah, but if I figure it out all the way, it's like, well, this wasn't a challenge. You know, I want to see something a little more, you know?
I mean, I like the ones that, like, they throw you a curveball. You think that you know, and then all of a sudden, well, shit, I didn't see that coming. I like that.
Yeah. Like stuff where they have twins and stuff. Those are pretty good. Yeah. Next we move into
JR. What's up? Sorry.
What's good? Welcome. Hit that like button, sir. You know, subscribe to the channel. You know, algorithm. Tell your friends. You know, tell your brother. Tell him. This isn't a broken game. This is a non-broken show. Okay, whatever. I tried. Whatever. Anyway, work well. Moving on. Let's go to the Big Apple in the room. Let's go to HBO Max. I want to go to HBO Max because the two shows on there, I'm pretty sure it's gritty. I'm pretty sure they'll probably have like killing or sex scenes and stuff in there. Because for number 2 coming in is Starstruck. Starstruck technically is about a woman. She's technically going through some grief. I'm assuming she's going through some grief, and I'm thinking that she might technically be going, maybe possibly on drugs. Right now I'm going through the synopsis and I'm speculating based off synopsis what I possibly think it be. But technically she's going through grief and tragedy, and she's pretty much, you know, horrible to everybody around her that knows her, might know her, might trying to help her, and she's going through this, and that's pretty much what the synopsis of the show is. This is technically what's going on. So I'm assuming this is one of those things to where it's about a person that starts off one way, life altogether. That tragic thing happens, cause them to make a complete 180 and go a different way in their life, you know. And then and then things are just very horrible from that point. And then whatever they went through caused them to internalize it. You ever had people who not passive aggressive, but they just internalize everything, and because they internalize their emotions, they snap at you. I don't know, maybe it's a little passive aggressive, but whatever. And they snap at you. I'm assuming that's her. Now I'm assuming with this, based off some of the pictures and things that I did see, I'm assuming this is going to probably have some drug usage, probably have possibly sex scenes. She might be a prostitute, stripper. Looks interesting. It's HBO Max, so I'm sure they're gonna throw some stuff in there, some curveballs, some probably close to reality things that, you know, for people who know about these types of things or know of people in these types of things, probably might be a good show for you or not. Moving on to Hacks. Now, Hacks was interesting. Or did I get them mixed up? I ain't get them mixed up, did I? You reading them? All right. Hacks. Hacks is the number one is I didn't get to read too much of that, but it's number 1 on HBO Max for a reason. So I'm assuming it must be good. So I don't know why
it's supposed to be something about comedians. It's a legendary Las Vegas comic and an entitled outcast 25-year-old comedian writer.
Huh. Oh, I think that's the one when they're supposed to have some type of, partnership, fellowship, maybe love interest story, whatever. It's, the way that and now I remember now, the way that they wrote that is kind of like the way that I took it was kind of like, I don't want to say coming of age story, but it's kind of like, you know, I forgot what it's called when you two best friends or two unlikely souls happen to meet up and they have the same quest or whatever the case may be. So that's what it seems like it's happening here. The comic meets the writer. Maybe the comic is, like I said, I haven't seen the show, it's good for a reason. So go watch it. You guys can tell me what it's about, but tell me not what it's about. Tell me if it's really any good. Tell me if the comic lady, if she's, you know, like down and out, and the writer helps her get back on track to be a better comic, or maybe she helps her have more content to write. But that's pretty much what they wrote. I'm pretty sure they just want you to go watch it to see for yourself. So we will see exactly how good. I mean, this is also, it's Rotten Tomatoes, and the thing about Rotten Tomatoes is that Rotten Tomatoes sometimes their scores for the most part are great, but sometimes people criticize, which is funny. They're critics, and you're criticizing the critics. They criticize the scoring system, because sometimes they say that Rotten Tomatoes can be too hard on some shows and not hard enough on others. Sometimes maybe it's kind of like the Oscars. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said the Academy Awards. They're very, like, you know, favoritism. But, you know.
Well, I don't care about those first two, but I want to know about this Not Too Late. It's the Not Too Late show with Elmo. I want to know about that one. That's one I care. That's at 26.
See,
number 26, really? Supposed to be interviewing a guest with his co-host, Cookie Monster. That is dope. I want to see that.
Yeah, now I did hear about that. Yeah, and yeah, I heard about that show. I heard that was
find it
pretty
and
good.
Watch it.
Now, I don't know if it had. This is the thing. I heard when it was first coming out that it may or may not be like adult. Not like the Muppets are gonna be having sex or anything like that. It's nothing like that. That would be just bad. Nothing like that. But more so like think something that's a little Adult Swim, but Muppets, but without the cussing. So it's kind of like, you know, you see Kermit the Frog and Elmo and them like on their day job, supposedly doing their day job stuff, and then they're done with doing their job and they getting off work, and it's like, man, gotta go buy this stuff for my wife. You know, she needs tampons or something like that. And then it's like, did Kermit the Frog say tampons? And it's like, it was supposed to be something like that, so you get to see the adult darkened side of the Muppets. Supposedly, that's what I heard. But that could have been the other show that they were trying to do, and then they just stopped it. And this could be a kids show. What else? I don't know. But
I think it's just a late
talk
night
show. Yeah, I mean, it could be. If it's a talk show, that's even better. It's probably
that's what it is. That's literally like from like even it's the late show with Elmo, but it's the Not Too Late show with Elmo. Like they're making like a comedy thing, like the Tonight Show, or you know, stuff like that, but with Elmo instead, and like his co-host is Cookie Monster.
Huh? Well, you guys tell me. Tell me if you guys like it, huh?
None.
You doing something sneaky over there, sir? No. All right, so now let's move on to the Amazon Prime. Now, Amazon Prime, y'all know they have lots of good shows, and these two I've heard these before. Catastrophe, and which is at number 2, and then another one is and then number 1, I'll talk to number 1 first. But the Catastrophe is supposed to be, if I'm correct, Catastrophe is supposed to be about these two people. They have one night stand, yay, and then things go wrong. I think if I'm correct, the woman gets pregnant, and then they try to make it work, but it just doesn't work out. And it's just like all kind of, so it's a drama. It's a drama, a more realistic drama, which, you know, it's life, right? You meet someone, things happen, you know, someone gets pregnant, you're like, oh, let's try. She's pregnant, let's try, right? And then things go left. Now, I've heard this one before. I've heard people talk about this one. They say that it's pretty good. It's pretty, you know, like on the nose with some of the stuff. Of course, they have to hype it up a little bit, so some of the stuff is like I heard about maybe a problem with the pregnancy, possibly, maybe, or whatever. So I think that was also in the synopsis as well. So yeah, I've heard good things about this one, and I've also seen it on Amazon Prime, like, you know, promoted a lot. So it's one of their favorites. And then And then there's Fleabag, which is the number one of Rotten Tomatoes for Amazon. And I've heard a lot about this one too. Well, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Now, I coming into this, I didn't know too much about Fleabag, too much, except it was about a woman, and I just don't. I can't remember too much. I'm gonna let Snake read the synopsis. Maybe it might come back to me because I can't remember too much. But I know it's supposed to be really, really good. Fleabag. So, because I see it all the time. Whenever I see it, I'm like, what is this? And I thought it was supposed to be a comedy, but it might not be a comedy. If I'm correct, I think this is also another darkened drama. So, but those are your second and your first for Amazon Prime. So, I'll move on to number 4, which is Hulu.
Sorry, I was scrolling through. Invincible was number 3? Really? Just number 3?
No, I'm just going in order. I like to do it.
You didn't make the list. They did.
What didn't make the list? Oh, you told me what was number 3? What was number 3 that you liked? Oh yeah. I saw that and I was just I think honestly, two things caused Invincible to be number 3. I think it's number 1, and this isn't is it for everybody out here who loves animation, because I love animation. I think it's animated. I think a lot of people still look at animation as, oh, I'm too grown for animation. Even though anime has been out for years and Marvel and DC and whatnot, I still think you have some people who still feel like anime is like, or animation stuff is, they don't watch it. Or people who do, I think the gore scared people off. I think some people who just didn't expect all of the snap, blood, and I think it threw some off. So I think it probably like that it was probably maybe right here beating one of the others, and then people saw the blood and it's like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't know. Maybe. This is my opinion on it.
It's at 98%. So I mean it's the same, it scored the same as Catastrophe or whatever. Like as the number 2. So I feel like that should be like a tie. And I think that Invincible
Nerdmation, guys. Nerdmation, guys.
And then Fleabag, like, who cares about that?
Nerdmation, guys. Alright, so we're going to Hulu, and at the number 2 spot, it is Reservation Dogs. This one was interesting because it's about some wayward teens. It's like they were native in culture, Native Americans probably, whatever, and they're and pretty much I'm honestly, I want to look at this trailer now, so I wasn't even sure exactly where the timeline fit, because it was like they're trying to get to California.
Oh, I heard
and like the great, and I was like, is this like back in the days where, in the Western? Because it's like it's one of those days where they're like,
it's now and day.
It's not that.
Yeah, it's a now and day.
Really?
Yeah, like it's. I seen the trailers for this one. It was hilarious. Like one of the Indian guys was like dressed in full blown Indian gear, and then like he tried to smoke the pipe, and he's like he's like coughing and stuff. It was funny.
Oh, is this the comedy? Is that comedy one? No, that's not the comedy one, is it? No, it is. Yeah, it's that comedy one, right?
As far as I know. I mean, unless I'm getting this one confused with another one.
Well, either way, I mean, they say it looks good. I want to find out more. It's number 2, so.
4 indigenous teenagers in rural Oklahoma steal, rob, and save in order to get to the exotic, mysterious, and faraway land of California.
Yeah, it has to be a comedy, because that does it. Yeah. So if it is, drama. I think this is the one. Hulu has a partnership with FX. Everybody knows FX. Most of their stuff, because I know FX, when they did have their streaming platform, when all the streaming giants came to be, FX just partnered with Hulu. So I know a lot of their content comes there first. It used to be Netflix, now it's them. So if I'm correct, that's that one. Yeah, that's that comedy one. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, if that's the case, yeah, I've heard this. This is really funny. I've heard it's super stupid funny. So if that's the case, I want to kind of take a look at it. And then the other one, which
JR says Reservation Dogs is amazing.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's good. You know, so if you have anything else to say about it, Mr. R of the JJR, just let us know what's the character. I heard it was like I think they like I'm not sure. I think they high drug use, right? I'm assuming because if it's what I'm thinking about, it's like from what FX was trying to promote here. It's like high drug use, very crazy, stupid stuff going on there. So yeah. Anything? Nothing? Okay.
I'm having issues with ad blocker on Rotten Tomatoes.
Stupid ad blocker. And then the other one is this one I actually like because the three protagonists in this, the star power is just, and actually how I wasn't sure how they would work together. I seen the trailer and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna work. But after watching like the second trailer of this, I watched it a while back, I was actually shocked. This one's called Only Murders in the Building. It has, I know, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and someone else is in it. Can't remember the other guy's name, but it was Short. Martin. Yeah, it was
Aaron Dominguez.
Yeah, it was crazy because it was like you wouldn't. Hey, Michael.
It's Michael Butler, not Michael Fox.
Butler. Everybody. I like all Michaels. All Michaels are cool. Michaels. No, but I knew that Martin Short was a genius. We've seen him and stuff before, and he's a comic genius. He's been doing a lot of stuff. Whatever. He's very good at what he does. He can improv, keep going. And I know for Disney Channel, I've seen Selena Gomez do some things back in the day before she started singing. But she hasn't been on TV in a very long while. She did maybe 1 or 2 cameos, but it was like more serious. So I was shocked to see if she can even hold her own with somebody as talented as him, and because it's one thing to do serious roles with veteran actors, but to do comedies is even different because they like to improv. They're gonna throw stuff at you. You got to be on your toes. You got to be ready to go. And if you can't, you can look very amateurish trying to do something with them on that scale. And from what I've seen, she held her own. If not, stole some of the scenes. But I was shocked. I was like, oh. But when Selena Gomez was on Disney Channel back then, she was one of the, and anecdotally speaking, she was one of the top female actresses back then. And I know we had Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus and all that, but Selena Gomez on her shows seemed to like pull focus, and like she knew what she was doing more than the others. The others, they were just singers on the show, and they had a good show or whatnot. Not to take anything away from them, because they did a good job. And they're,
the other two gone crazy, so
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So I'm interested in that one because I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna go. About 3 people that's gonna they like what murder mysteries, true crime, and whatnot, and then somebody dies in there, and they gotta try to solve, and then they take it onto themselves to solve it. I think it's funny. So, I kind of want to see what that's like. Now let's move on to the last 2. Well, not the last 2, but we were moving on to the last 2 streamers. First, we're going to go to Paramount Plus. Now, these 2 I was really shocked about, especially this one, because I didn't even know it was back. And I'm not going to lie. Yes, I watched it. iCarly. I did. I watched it. I watched it with my kid and the other kids that I helped babysit and whatnot. And it was not a bad show. They had the girl who played Sam, and everybody's favorite girl, Ariana Grande, who played Kat. If y'all don't remember, Ariana Grande was she was on Sam and Cat. She was on another show, and then ended up coming to iCarly, and they had cameos and whatnot. But y'all know she was very goofy and stuff. But yeah, iCarly was one of the shows that started that whole trend off and started her career. If y'all really, one of the shows that helped, along with Victorious, I think, that helped start Ariana Grande's thing. But what was cool about this is that they brought iCarly back with the same girl, and I think she's even producing the show, the Miranda Cosgrove, and you know, she didn't do like a lot of people who leave the shows and come back. You know, they end up getting real older, like old looking or fat, or you know, or skin something, or stuff changes, haircuts be all over here and stuff like that. She looks literally the same except 20 or whatever. I mean, you look at Fuller House possibly.
Did it explain like where her co-star is?
Where the who started?
Her co-star, the one that was always with her.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, the blonde one.
I don't know. Yeah, the girl who played Jeanette, who played Sam. I don't know if they like. I haven't seen it. Like, this is my first time paying attention. Being like, what?
I thought you said that you watched it. Are you talking about the original? You watched it.
Yeah, I watched the original. Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched the original. Yeah. So I didn't. But yeah, now you're making me sound like, you know, like real bad, whatever. No, but yeah, I'm pretty sure in the show they're gonna say what happens to her or whatever and all that, because I know the boy, both the guy who is supposed to be her brother is on the show, and then the guy Freddie is also supposed to who played her best friend, her other best friend or whatever on the show. So I'm wondering if they're going to mention that. Because I know on the show they had him date the other best friend. So who knows? I mean, I might check it out and get Paramount Plus. You know, they got deals somewhere. And I'll check it out. The other one was, I was at first conflicted about it. Because I was like, this shouldn't be a thing. Because why is this number one? But then I had to realize, when I looked at the pictures of the cast, why it might be number one. And I understood now. It's the Real World. I think it's the Real World reunion, and the reason why that's so spectacular, because if I'm correct, this is, I think, the very first Real World people. If I'm correct, it's them. They're the very first one. I think the very first Real World, I think, was in New York, and I think these are the original cast members, and they're coming back to have a reunion and talk about why Real World made them and what it did. So this is the very first cast. A lot of people our age remember some of them, even if we were too young, even if we didn't have cable, we remember some of the first Real World events. And if they would have never started it off, we would ever have like Real World versus Road Rules, which honestly, that show is hilarious because it's Road Rules always wins, but you know, whatever, we're not going to talk about that. And I think they've changed the name now. I think it's just the Gauntlet or something like that, but whatever. I digress. But yeah, I think that's pretty interesting because I kind of want to know, like, did any of them get famous? I'm sure some of them have. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of them. Did they just stop? How much money did they get from it? Did the show destroy them? Like, you know, did people have, you know, like anxiety? So that's interesting. I can see why, you know, some shows that start off as like kind of realistic, non-realistic. Because I think the Real World at the time, I don't think that show was completely fake. I think that show was a half and half. Because as you know, there are some shows that are, say, it's, you know, it's a reality TV show, then it's like 100% fake. Then there are some that are half and halves, where half of it is real, but then on some scenes, but some parts aren't. And then there are some that are like real to a certain extent, and then there's some that's completely real, but it just have to stay in the guidelines of TV or whatnot. So I'm wondering where Real World had, the very first one anyway, where they stem from that. So I might go check that one out. And then there is, you know, the king of original content. You know, well, HBO Max, no, not them, not those guys. They're the kings of A-rated R content. And I know people say, but it's Showtime. No, Showtime's just do like weird stuff at night. Talking about, you know, Netflix, king of original content for now anyway. And they have, Netflix is interesting because unlike the others will get shows, and these shows will stay on the top 10 list in their respective places. They'll come out 2020, 2019, 2015. They'll stay in their top 10 places from Rotten Tomatoes to other sources they'll stay there for a while until other new shows take their place. Netflix, their shows kind of switch up a lot. They're running, I guess, different campaigns where they're kind of like trying to throw new shows on there, because Netflix isn't like the other ones where they could take, network, where they take a lot of network TV shows and put them on their platforms. They do that, of course, but they don't do it as much as some of the others. They don't have a, they don't have Viacom, and they can't just say, hey, HBO, we have like this whole smorgasbord of stuff. So they have to, a lot of times, make deals and create their own content, which comes to this. There is 2 shows. One that's called Turning Point, and that one, which is at the number 2 spot, that one looks interesting. Like, with Netflix, it's funny because you see all these new things. I watch it. Oh, I don't know. I want to watch it. Oh, what's that? I want to watch it. But what's interesting about Turning Point is that this, I think, is technically a documentary, if I'm correct. It's a documentary about what happened in 9/11, of all things, and the Afghanistan war, and all these things that are going on, and they're talking about it, and Netflix. You guys know Netflix did one before where they talked about a serial killer at one point, and they went through, and everybody was like addicted to that. I was last to the party on that. I was like, what y'all talking about? But yeah, so they're doing one with the Afghanistan war, and it's and I don't necessarily believe that they did this. That I know a lot of people might say, oh, conspiracy theory. This is what happened. This is why the stuff over there right now is happening. I think that's just coincidence. Honestly, I think it just happened coincidence. I think the reason why it's number 2 is possibly because of that. It made people watch it more. I'm pretty sure maybe a month or so back, it probably wasn't number 2 at all. Probably was maybe number 10. Probably wasn't even in the top 10 at all. And it was on Netflix. But now, because of this, it's probably hyped it up more because people want to know a little bit more about what happened. Why did President Bush at the time do this, or why did President Obama at the time do this, or why did that happen, or did they really did Osama bin Laden really do this, and this person do that, and da da da. So it's a documentary that kind of goes through all of these things, and it's number 2, so it must have some very interesting content. So I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's really good content, or if it's just because of what's going on, everybody wants to watch it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot and find out. But then there's the number 1 on Netflix, which is Clickbait, and this one, whoa! I'm going to watch it. It's a limited series. This one here really was awesome. As far as the trailer and synopsis and everything, because we can relate, because we're on Zoom and social media. So a guy ends up missing. Then there's a video pops up, and he talks about how bad he is, something that he does bad, I think abuses women or whatnot. And then if he gets a certain amount of views, he dies. So now it's about trying to find out who this guy really is. No, there's no way he's done the horrible things that they say that he's doing on his video. But what if he is that guy? And now, on the trailer, it showed things where they were going like back and forth, like through scenarios based off of, I guess, his wife, sister, and some other people that knew him, and they gave their takes of what nobody else knew about him, whether good or bad. So I'm assuming this is gonna be one of those TV shows where we're technically gonna be having to try to solve the which I'm excited about. Like I said before, I like trying to solve stuff. I like to make me think a little bit. You're gonna have to try to solve the mystery along with the police. So technically, they're probably not gonna give us any. Well, I hope they don't give us any real clues. I hope whatever clue we get is the same clue that they give the police. Like we're finding out with them. That way we can just solve it. Or when we're seeing it from the perspective of whoever, wife, cousin, best friend, or whatever, I hope they don't give too much away there. I hope they put it in a way to where it could be either or. And what I mean by that is this: if y'all ever watched that scary movie, The Exorcist, it's a while back, of Emily Rose, what I liked about that scary movie is how they did it. Is how they never chose but they were so true to the original story of the real girl who went through that, and they stayed on that line, and it made you have to decide what side you want to be on. They had sides where it's like you heard the priest side in the movie because it's a fictional movie, but it's based off of so-called true story, not based off true events. But anyway, how they did it was they had the priest telling his side, the priest telling, you know how all the movies say based off true events. The true event could be that a dude in a priest costume walked in the store and it was next to a girl who passed out. That could be the true part. All of them do it based off true events. I just like how they do that.
What I always thought, this whole about as far as exorcisms and stuff, like the whole thing about the like speaking in tongues and blah blah blah, all that shit. Back then, like, what if these people were just schizophrenic? They didn't know what schizophrenia was, and they're just like, "Oh, it's the devil!" Like exorcise them. Like how do you that could have been what they was back then. Like they didn't know what it was until modern medicine.
Modern medicine. That is true. But so what I liked about the movie is how they played with that though. Like what you're just saying. They had the scientists who saw everything. They had the scientists saying from his accounts how it was scientific, this, and this. And then when the lawyer was like, well, what about this? And then you heard the sound, the scientist was like, well, I can't explain that, but this. And then the priest was like, oh, this and this and this happened. And then everybody was like, whoa. And then the other lawyer on the other side was like, what about this? And then it kept you in the middle to where it was like, dang, was the priest lying? Whoa, wait, was the doctor's lying? Whoa, wait, did he kill it? No, wait, was it really the demon? Oh, and you was just, and I love how the movie kept doing that. So what I hope they do in clickbait, I hope that they do that. I hope they keep me in the middle to where it's like, did the daughter kill her? Nope. It wasn't the daughter. It was deputy police set him up. No. It was okay. All right. Because in some of those movies, like I'm telling you, where it's on the line, it keeps me to where I have to like stop. Now the problem though is that I have one of these, and this is where I can pause it. If I can pause it, I can look at the thing, like looking around the room, like, yep, it's a shoe right there, and there's that. So the problem now is that I got this.
How about
so
you?
Now I can kind of cheat.
I want to know. I still want to do it, and you know what I'm talking about. You need to go to an escape room, and put your skills to the test.
Yeah. Now, see, when you put a time limit on it, I don't know how great I'll be.
No.
See,
you
I'm
don't
just
need
saying
a time
in general.
Depending on where you go, they don't have time limits.
That is true. I mean, I like the soft stuff, so I don't know. I'll be good. But yeah, guys, those are the top shows. I was gonna do movies. Movies are a little bit more difficult to kind of capture as far as like all of this. Sometimes they don't have good rankings. Sometimes they have movies from like back in 1990, and it's like, yo, no, I just want the movies from right now, like that came out in the last 2 or 3 years. Oh no, movies that came out in 2010. And it's like, no, it's not the movie. Why is that in the top 10 list? So whatever. Regardless, or is it irregardless? Whatever. Point is, these are these shows. And like I said, it could have been a lot more. But that is your state of streaming. So what shows are you excited for? What shows are you watching? Are you watching older shows? Are you watching newer shows? Are you watching the top 10 right now on your respective devices? What do you like? Are you an Amazon movie Prime person, so you watch like everything on Amazon Prime? Are you a Netflix person, you just can't stay off the platform? Do you like some stuff that we haven't said? When I said Discovery Plus, Discovery, anything on there? Star Trek maybe? Or what about Apple TV? We haven't talked about that in a while. Maybe something on there, that they're doing or whatever. Or maybe you just like cartoons. Maybe just like all the animated stuff. And maybe like Netflix has the best anime in the world. Or maybe like, no, bro. You better go to Hulu. Hulu has the best anime on the platform. Whatever. And like, bro, whatever, all those stuff ain't really that gory and destructive. You need to go to HBO Max and you get some breasticles and stuff like that.
Or
I don't
you
know.
just watch
What
them
is
all.
your thing? Well, I mean,
Like,
yeah, but I'm saying, like, what's your favorite? Like, you still have to have a favorite.
I don't have no favorite. I flip between all of them.
Whatever. You still have. Everybody has a favorite.
Nope.
Like,
nope.
You have a favorite. Like,
they
it's
all
one
have
you constantly go back to.
I don't have a favoritism. Like, I need to go here. We watch those. Then we flip over and we go to here. We watch those.
Here.
We flip over and watch these. But bonus content that you didn't even know was here, sir.
Bonus content.
Yeah, I saw it just now on one of these things. It was on the side thing.
Okay. What?
Aquaman 2. Jason Momoa reveals a new stealth suit for Aquaman. Why he needs a stealth suit? I don't know. I
saw that, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how realistic. I wasn't sure if it was real or if somebody like fake made it and it was something else. But I'm glad you clarified. I appreciate that. There you go, guys. Jason Momoa
revealed it on Instagram that his Atlantean superhero will be receiving a new suit for the upcoming sequel. The same but different look from the design based on Arthur Curry's original DC Comics look. The actor posted 2 side-by-side photos of himself in full costume, with the original coming first. Leaving fans to swipe to see just what lies ahead for someone's favorite Aquaman hero.
There you go. Now,
Wait,
for some of you guys, just to kind of give you a little bit, if you're probably, my speculation for the stealth suit, for you guys who probably want to know, it probably has to do with Black Manta. If anybody knows, Black Manta is going to be more involved in this movie, and if anybody knows Black Manta, his abilities and what he does with his suit allows him a lot of special perks underwater and things he can do that kind of gives him an advantage over the Atlanteans. And one of the things might be the fact that he can maybe sense them, not necessarily sense them, but get a signature of sorts, a heat signature, maybe track certain patterns and things they do or whatever. So if he has a stealth suit, technically, this is just a theory, he might be able to get around some of the tech that Black Manta possibly might have. That's the idea that I think they possibly might be going with. Don't know yet. I'll look into it more, try to, I might get with Snake and we might, check out a comic or two, or he might let me know what comic he knows or whatever. We might check some sources and see if he's done that in the comics. Maybe he's took a stealth suit or something like that to fight Black Manta, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he just threw a big old giant shark with laser eyes and killed Black Manta. I don't know. I haven't read too much Aquaman stuff outside of Justice League Unlimited, so can't tell you. But, with that being said, guys, that is it. This has been Prime Time Live. So if you like this content and you like what we're doing with, the state of streaming, and you want to know more and you want more of this content, please like, subscribe, and comment down in the box below, especially on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, always join in live. Thank you, JR, and thank you, Michaels, So, I said Michaels because, it could have been 1,000 Michaels online. But so thank you guys who tuned in. Of course, as before, if you guys ever want to come on the show and discuss these streaming platforms and shows that come on there, and we could talk about it. Halloween's coming up pretty soon, like in a month or so maybe we could talk about it. I told you that I'm going to do DC. I might, since we just talked about a little of it, maybe we'll talk about it next week and we'll talk about some of the reviews people talk about of Shang-Chi, so we'll get to that. So maybe you'll come on the show next week and we can talk about that. Maybe somebody could tell us if they've seen the movie and what they, maybe we can get some other opinions of people who say, oh, I hate the movie. I love the movie. Oh, I didn't like her hair in the movie. Oh, the dude didn't have rings on his fingers, as, Snake would say. He hates the rings on his fingers. So there you go with that. So, maybe we can discuss that next week and talk about some of these stuff. So if you want to talk about that next week, do that. Maybe you want to get in on October and talk about some scary stuff. Maybe you'll dress up as a vampire or something. Maybe we'll talk some Halloween stuff
next weekend.
Oh, and don't forget
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con's coming up. So maybe you'll see a special rendition of Comic-Con. Maybe you'll see, like, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. So with that being said,
We will be there
I'm your boy
live.
Ming-Dee. There he is.
you are. All right. Well,